Friends, today is Thursday, the 17th of December, and on the 17th of December we begin our immediate preparation for the coming of the Savior at Christmas. These are the days of the O antiphons, the antiphons that are represented in the song, O Come, Emmanuel. Beautiful reminder of the coming feast of Christmas. And today, the antiphon is, O wisdom, O wisdom. And every 17th of December each year, we read the genealogy of Jesus from the Gospel of Matthew, the first chapter, the very opening of the New Testament, the first words of the New Testament given to us in the Gospel of Matthew, the book of the genealogy of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. And then all the listing of names and generations. Readers, of course, never like this gospel because a lot of names difficult to pronounce. But over the years, I've come to peace with this particular reading, and I've come to a deeper understanding and an appreciation of this genealogy of Jesus and what it means and what it's all about, that somehow it also touches our lives, even as the life of Jesus goes back to many, many generations and his own relatives. So also we are a part of the family. Jesus, a part of a long list of names, part of a family, and an interesting family at that. And so the gospel today, the genealogy, presents the story of Jesus from his roots in Abraham and David and so on, through the patriarchs and kings and every sort of individual, good and bad, healthy and dysfunctional, just like our families. All families are pretty much the same in that regard, and the family of Jesus also. And it shows God working through this human family, working through the human family in all its various shades and colors, God's goodness and grace, God's goodness and grace, passing through one generation into the next to produce a Savior. And there are as many saints as there are sinners in this list. Again, it's a typical family history, as many saints as there are sinners. And the story and the sequence of this reading today, the sequence continues into the time of Jesus himself and beyond. The sequence of names and generations and so on continues into the time of Jesus and even beyond. And the sequence from the beginning and every sort of individual in it, so also does the time of Jesus represent the family background. Again, the families and all of our families and going through difficult, challenging times. And at the time of Jesus, we have a motley crew of disciples around Jesus, a motley crew of disciples. Peter, who denied Jesus, Paul, who persecuted him, and so on. That sequence of names and stories continues into the time of Jesus. And the genealogy reminds us that the sequence doesn't stop there. The sequence of names and family doesn't stop there. The family and everything, all those things continue through history itself, with as peculiar a group of people through the many centuries of the church, as peculiar a group of people as we see in this genealogy of Jesus. The God, we might say, who from the beginning wrote with crooked lines, also wrote the sequence with crooked lines. So even as from the beginning, God writing with crooked lines, he continues that through the centuries of the church, all the way until today. And that's the important thing to think about with this genealogy, not just a listing that comes to an end. It continues into the time of the church. And what we see in this is that God God uses the scheming as well as the noble. God uses the scheming as well as the noble, the pure and the impure, the prostitute and the virgin, men and women of high regard and men and women of low estate, all of it to accomplish God's will and God's purpose and God's mission and God's salvation for us. We should also note that many in the genealogy of Jesus, many of the genealogies are unknown characters. We don't know who they are. Their name is listed, but we don't know who they are. Characters, unknown. Yet they played, unknown as they are, yet they played an important role in the coming of the Savior. Obviously, their name wouldn't be listed if they didn't play that important role in bringing forth the Savior. And so we think about our times. Are there not unknown characters, even today, who play an essential role in the mission and the purpose of God, in this ongoing sequence of character? All of us are important to the story. Whether we're known or unknown, all of us are important. Ultimately, the genealogy of Jesus gives us hope about our destiny and our importance, all of us, the importance of all of us in this story, this sequence. Things aren't perfect, for sure. Things aren't perfect. But God's grace has a way. God's grace has a way of cutting through and producing a Savior. Hold that thought, and we'll see you tomorrow.